We are here with John Wilson, the creator of the Razzies, the man who started it all. And you wrote a couple of books on how movies have taught you everything that you need to know. So you've been growing up your entire life watching movies and television, I'm sure. And
actually part of what inspired the Razzies, when I was a kid growing up in Chicago, one of the few nights my parents would let me stay up late was to watch the Oscars. And I remember when I was like 8, I think, when Patty Duke won an Academy Award, and I remember thinking, she's not much older than I am. That's kind of cool. And the Razzies don't totally come from anger. They partly come from a love of movies and a disrespect for the kind of movies we've been dishonoring all these years. When they can make things like The Miracle Worker, why do they make things like Jack and Jill?
We have to remember there's a range of people out there, and clearly there are people still going to see movies like Jack and Jill.
Some. By Adam Sandler's standards, though, Jack and Jill grossing, I think it was $75 million, is not particularly good for him. It's frightening when you do the math. It means almost 8 million people probably paid to see it.
Yeah.
And those 8 million people, when they hear the results of tonight, will be going, yes!
I did watch the movie, and I have to say I'm very happy with how many awards they did take tonight.
It is. Jack and Jill is the first film in our 32-year history to win every single award. I guess that was bound to happen sooner or later. A few years back, Geely won all 6 top awards, but it didn't totally sweep. And unless we add another category, this record is going to stand for a while, because 10 out of 10, you could tie it, I suppose. You can't really beat it.
Right. Now, Jack and Jill obviously swept all the awards tonight that they were in. Was there any movie that you thought maybe could have tipped that scale a little bit and maybe could have won over Jack and Jill?
Well, my personal favorite, because I love stuff that's funny that isn't supposed to be, I thoroughly enjoyed Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1. I thought it was so funny. And, of course, all the twihards in the theater, I thought I was going to get bopped with a newspaper or a popcorn bucket. The people who love those movies love them so much that when we pick on them, it just makes it even more fun. And in the category that we opened to voting on Rotten Tomatoes, where I think it was 35,117 votes were cast, all along it was neck and neck and back and forth between Twilight Saga and Jack and Jill. And I kept hoping just so that one award would go to something different. Because, having sat through Jack and Jill once, I'm going, there's not enough material in there for 10 clips. What the hell are we going to do? But going back through it, there was that great clip when Al Pacino won, where the female twin goes, was it Al Pacino? Oh my gosh, it was Al Pacino. And just for every category we showed a clip, it was almost like they knew they were going to win the Razzies, and they gave us dialogue that played off of all the awards that it won. So
I do have to say I had a small little liking of Al Pacino in that movie, because he knows how bad it is.
He knows he's doing a cheesebag movie.
Oh yeah.
But the way Adam Sandler wrote the film, the whole structure of it is that the male Sandler twin is trying to pitch a campaign to Dunkin' Donuts that requires Al Pacino to do a rap song about a Frappuccino. And if you don't have Al Pacino, you can't make Jack and Jill. So maybe Al Pacino's more to blame than Adam Sandler.
I didn't think about it that way.
To me too. It's his fault.
All right, you know what? We're blaming you, Al Pacino, for Jack and Jill now. We're going to have to put that up. We're going to have to let Matt know and tell him to put that up on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, what was your favorite bad movie this year?
The one I actually voted for, which was not Jack and Jill. I always vote last, in case there's a tie, because I like to break it. Okay. Jack and Jill was such a heavy favorite, my vote didn't sway anything this year. But I actually did vote for Nick Swardson as worst actor, and Bucky Larson as worst picture, and Bucky Larson as worst screenplay. I did vote for Sandler as worst actress. That was irresistible. But I didn't vote the same way as the members did. Not that I think they were wrong. I'm assuming more of them saw Jack and Jill than saw Bucky Larson.
Right. But again, Bucky Larson was so good in its own right, but again, you have to go back and still blame Adam Sandler.
Yes. Yep. it all comes back to Adam Sandler. He co-wrote and produced that, and I found myself halfway through wondering, did he write this for himself, know that it stank, and just go, here, Nick, here's a gift.
You're my friend.
This is how much I like you.
I was telling Matt, though, I would so be Adam Sandler's friend. No matter, that would be fine.
Adam Sandler's best bud. Yes.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you, there's a couple of movies already out this year that I think might take something next year. Underworld, for me, I saw that this year, and I actually really liked all the other movies, but this one for me...
Well, this time of year, from about the end of the year till we do our ceremony, I'm so focused on putting the show together and dealing with press releases and stuff, I don't see things that come out this time of year in general. But movies that come out this time of year come on video real fast. Right, yeah. And so by this time next week, that might be on video, so I could see it. And to be honest, a lot of what we focus on, it's not that important to see it on a big screen with, like I have to admit, this last year, I was not willing to go to a theater, put on the glasses, and get the headache to see Transformers in 3D. I waited for it to come on pay-per-view, where I could pause it, go do something for 20 minutes, come back, and there's still an hour and a half left. I remember my 15-year-old son, he kept hitting the button that told you how much had played and he kept going, oh my God, there's an hour left.
You know what movie did that to me was 2012. Every time I hit that pause button, I was like, really?
And among Oscar movies, the one I remember feeling that way about was Out of Africa. My wife and I rented it, and it took us literally 3 days. We'd pause it and go, we'd go to dinner, take out the trash, we'd come back, and the train is still across Africa, and it's like, this is never going to end. How did this win Best Picture?
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Like 3 days. It's a record for an hour and a half long movie.
Oh no, it was a day and a half, wasn't it?
That's true. No, what's your real favorite? One of your real favorite movies? Yeah.
I have a very specific favorite. I have always loved the old Billy Wilder movie, Sunset Boulevard, because it's everything. It's comedy, it's drama, it's romance, it's mystery. It's the only genre it doesn't really have anything for is musical. And it's so self-aware, it's so cynical, it's so perfectly done, and everyone in it is just amazing. That I think is the best movie ever made.
Now, I asked you earlier if you thought you were going to keep the polls open next year to the public again on Rotten Tomatoes, and you said most likely. Are you going to open it up maybe for another category as well?
Well, we're certainly enjoying what we've done with them so far, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. The reason we did that particular one is it was new, and it was also significant to me that category, that screen ensemble, screenplay, director, and picture, for I think the first time ever, the 5 films in those 4 categories were the same 5 films. And so I thought it was interesting in a way, by voting ensemble, you were kind of going, well, these are the worst pictures too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It was an interesting coincidence.
That's really great. Well, thank you so much for your time. I had a great time.
Have a Razzie.
Yay! I won my own Razzie. I hope it's not for worst host.
We don't have that, but for Rotten Tomatoes, no.
Thank you, John. I really appreciate your time.